I'm going to continue with this Paths of Glory solo play with this Stuka Joe method so that you can see how this all works. So when I left last time, we just completed the first card play for CP. So we need to do the first card play for AP. So to do that, I'm going to begin the log file. I'm going to look at the log file that I put up for CP and just change it slightly. Change the code to 002. It is turn 1. It's obviously not CP. It's now AP, and this is card 1. So that will give me my log start. Now, what I did forget to do at the end of the last card play was to remove the activation markers, so I'll do that now. That just gets rid of these attack markers down here. I should have done that at the end of the last turn. Now, there are a couple of things that the AP needs to be concerned about and things that they should be thinking carefully about. This area around here, which is Tarnopol and Czernowitz, this is a risky area for the AP, because if the Austro-Hungarians gang up and do a kind of flanking attempt on Kamenets-Podolsky and eventually take it, this is a big problem, because this point here is a pivot point for supply in the south for Russia. Much of their supply leads through here and out to the Caucasus. It isn't the only supply route, but it is quite important. And the other one is down here in Belgrade, where if these two Austro-Hungarian corps and army gang up, they could take Belgrade. If they take Belgrade, it will put it will mean that Serbia can't actually leave Serbia at all. So Serbian armies will have to stay within Serbian borders in order to be in supply. So that is a sort of looming threat, let's put it that way. Now, the first thing we do with the Stuka Joe method is we roll a dice, and we refer to the Stuka Joe details on what this dice roll actually means. But we'll roll a blue dice for the AP, and that gives me 2, and that tells me that I should flip the top cards from row A, B, and C. Well, A and B are already flipped, so I will flip the top card here. I need to expand it before I do that, otherwise it will flip all of them. So what I'm going to do here is just want to flip the top one. There we go. And number 2 says, flip the top card from the draw pile and A and B. Play A or B or C in any way you want to, and if you play A or B, you will replace the space with the card from C. So basically I can play any of these 3, but I am a little bit restricted because I can't play reinforcements, and right now I've got 3 reinforcements on the board, and I can't play reinforcements, which is annoying. So the best thing to do is to try some ops. So there are a couple of things that I want to look at. I don't need to worry about the Middle East map down here because we're not at limited war, so Turkey is not in play. But I wouldn't mind getting rid of some of the threat around here, particularly the flanking threat. So I think I might do something about that. I could flank Tarnopol and try and advance into there, or I could just knock out the Czernowitz corps here, which will prevent any flanking attempt on Kamenets-Podolsky. So that's something that I could do there. Around here, well, there are some special rules that prevent me dealing with German forts at the moment. So I can't just kind of loop round here and try and cut this supply off straight away, because I'm not allowed to siege forts, and I'm not allowed to attack them in this first turn. So although that would be a killer move to move the Russian Second Army from here to Tannenberg and then in here, which would definitely, if I move this corps as well, I could definitely cut the supply off for here. As it stands, I can't move into this space because that would require a siege, which I'm not allowed to do, and hence his supply is safe. Of course, that doesn't necessarily apply to the second turn, but for the first turn, I can't do that. So these guys are relatively safe from that sort of move. And over here, around here, it depends how aggressive I want to be. Now, one thing I did notice kind of after I'd made the recording for the last session was that there is a compulsory British attack. Now, if I'd thought about that, I might well have tried to attack the BEF early, because if I'd attacked the BEF early, I would have flipped it, but they would be forced to use the BEF to attack again. Because that's the only British army on the map at the moment. So, and in fact, what I've done here is allow the BEF to remain at full strength, which means although they have to do an attack, they don't have to, they're not going to flip twice when they do this attack. So, you know, swings and roundabouts, really. So one thing I really would like to do is to get the this compulsory British attack out of the way, for one thing. So that is certainly something I want to do. And the second thing I want to do is to deal with these Austro-Hungarian armies around Belgrade, and also probably to deal with Tarnopol. Now, that lot would be 4 ops if I really want to do this big style, which would be 1, 2 for that, 3 for an attack here, and 4 for an attack here. Well, I do have the option of doing that. I could use this British reinforcements here, or this British reinforcements card here. It doesn't really matter which one. I'm going to have to use one or the other, as I can't preserve both of them. So I think I'm going to use the, it doesn't really matter. They're both pretty much the same here. So it doesn't matter. So I'll use this British reinforcements card and I'll play it for ops. Now, the other option I could do is I could SR something. I could SR the BEF core over to here to make this a strength of 7 if I wanted to. I'm not really too bothered about that. And there's nothing else critical going on. So the point is I need to make the other person react if I was playing this for real. And I think this would definitely make them react. So I'm going to choose a 4 ops card here. So I right click on this one. I'm going to play it for ops. It's going to give me 4 possible ops. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an attack move here. I'm going to do an attack move here. I'm going to do an attack move here. And I'm going to get this out of the way by doing an attack over here. All right, so 4 attacks, and this should complete my compulsory attack. Okay, and make it a bit more difficult for Austro-Hungary to do their compulsory attack in the process. So let's give this a try. So we'll start with the British, and we can say the BEF attack. Well, let's go for Sedan, German Third Army. Okay, there are no combat cards showing for either of us, so that's not something we need to worry about. So I can just put 5v3, and there's no flanking or any complexities like that going on, so we can just play that straight in. Remember, the blue dice is the Allied dice. So there we go, 5-3. So let's check on the tables what they are. So I attacked with 5, and the Allied roll was 5 as well. That means 4 losses for the Germans. And the Germans responded with a 3 dice roll on their 5 factors as well. and so they get 3 losses. So we get we cause 4 losses, they cause 3 losses. So we'll just drop that down here. 4 losses to Germans, 3 losses to the British. Okay, so let me just double check that, because I'm terrible at kind of forgetting these things very quickly, and I want to just double check everything's okay. It's actually not 5v3 as I put up here, it's 5v5. So up here was a mistake. So it's 5v5 and 1 roll of 3 and 1 roll of 5. So 3 and 5, that's correct. 4 losses to the Germans and 3 losses to the British. Okay, so I'll put my correction here as well. So it was 5v5. Okay, not sure why I put 5v3. Okay, so that means that's going to force a retreat here, and it's going to cause a flip in both of them. So let's just flip that one, and unfortunately flip this one. And that's going to force a retreat. So we don't want to retreat here into Liege or here into Metz, because it will leave a big wide open gap here through Koblenz. So we're going to retreat back into Koblenz there. I can't advance. Actually, no, I don't force a retreat. You only force a retreat if you if you have a full strength unit available to do so. I don't have a full strength unit available to do so, so I don't force a retreat. So in fact, he's going to stay exactly where he is, and that's the end of that attack. Okay, let's go on to the Russian 3rd and the Russian 8th Army. So we'll put that down. Russian 3rd, Russian 8th. We're going to flank with a +1, and we'll write it like we did last time. Whoop. There we go. And we're going to attempt to flank anyway, and we're going to attack the Austro-Hungarian 3rd Army. Okay. So this would be a 6 versus a 3 normally. And of course that can change if it's a successful flank. So we'll roll the flank first. So where's my allied roll? Right, I get a +1 for the flank, and I've got 3. Well, that's no good, because I need 4, 5, or 6 for the flank. Because I need 4, 5, or 6 for the flank, they attack first. So we're going to do a 3 attack from Austro-Hungary. So that's over here, and that's a 4. So there's the 3, and the 4 down there is 3 losses. So 3 losses to the Russians. 3 losses to Russia. Okay, and that needs to be done now because it was a failed flank attack. So I'm going to flip this one, I think. Okay, he's only going to take 2 losses there because to flip it again would be 4, and he only got a 3 losses anyway. But it does change his attack rating. So his attack rating is not 6, it's 5 now. So I can write 5 attack from Russia, and we'll give that a shot. Oh, that's a pretty good result there. 5 on the 5, that's 4 losses. So 4 losses to Austro-Hungary. Okay, which means we ended up doing more losses than they did. So to get 4 losses on here, you're going to have to flip this once. That's 2 losses, and now you're going to have to eliminate that, and that's going to be your 4th one. Now we do have a full strength unit available, so that means that will force a retreat. We got 4 losses to Austro-Hungary, they're 3 losses to Russia. That means they only need to retreat 1 space. Now we could retreat into Chernowitz, but in fact it's probably better to retreat away, otherwise they could be destroyed quite easily. Now, do I want to move into there? Not from Kamenets-Podolsky, I don't. Because if I do that, it will open a big gap here and this guy can move straight through it. So I'm going to stand exactly where I was and keep that the same. Okay, and that leaves Belgrade down here. So what am I going to do with Belgrade? Well, I'm just going to attack the core. So I'm going to put Serbian First Army attacks Austro-Hungary core. That's all I'm going to do. And that would be a 2 versus a 1 core. And the reason I'm doing this is because if I can eliminate this unit, it will prevent any flanking attempts going on here, which would make it a lot easier to take Belgrade. So I want to kind of eliminate these one at a time. So we'll start with the core. Okay, so I roll for both of these. Okay, there's the yellow roll, 5 and 3. So I'm rolling on the 2 column, and I rolled a 5, which means it's 3 losses to Austro-Hungary. And they've rolled on the 3 column, but they're on a 1 core only. So that is nothing. So there is no effect and there is no losses to us at all. Now 3 losses will mean this will be destroyed completely, because when it flips over, it's 1 loss point. So to destroy it completely will be 2 loss points. So that will be eliminated. Okay, which has taken the threat of flanking away and makes it a little bit more risky for this guy to try and take Belgrade, which would not be a good idea. Okay, now that's all 4 activations done. So I can remove the activations like that, and I can end the log file. Okay, log file written. So now I'm going to begin the next log file, and the next log file will be 003. So we'll take that one, because I can change this to 3 and it's card play 2 now. Okay, so we're back to central powers. Before we do that, I guess I should move this card into the space there. That's what I should have done earlier. Okay. Right, now the first thing we do, now we're on the second card play for CP, is to roll for the Stuka Joe method. So rolling for the Stuka Joe method is number 2. Number 2 is flip the draw pile. So I'm going to just flip the top one there. Okay, flip the top card and play A, B, or C. That's this, this, and this, for any reason whatsoever. So I can play events if I want to. Well, I can't play reinforcements, but I can play other events if I want to. I've got a suspicion I might need to keep this one for the next turn, because Austro-Hungary may well need reinforcements. I'm not going to be entrenching at all. And I got Falkenheim here as well. Now, the problem is I can't actually play this as an event because Moltke hasn't been played yet. And I can only play this after Moltke has been played, or at any time beginning in fall 1914, which is like 2 turns away. So that's like a long time away. I might think about using this as a replacement card early on. It's a risk. If the other guy plays Moltke, I'm going to be a bit screwed on the Western Front, but I could use the replacements. I've got a couple of German replacements I could use. I've got these Austro-Hungarian guys I'd like to get back. So a possible replacement card might be a good idea. I think I'd like to do something with these guys, the German 8th Army, and get them out of the risk position that they're in at the moment. And I think I might actually attack the BEF here because they are weakened. And if I hit them again, they'll go down to a core, which would be kind of a good idea and will give me a move towards the channel ports. So that might be a good idea. Do I want to play the replacements now or later? Well, there's a couple of things here. Oh, the first thing is, I suppose I did do the British mandated offensive, so I should move that back because that's actually been done. So I don't need to worry too much about that. Okay, now I also need to do an Austro-Hungary attack somewhere, but it's not obvious where at the moment, which is not going to damage me really badly. Maybe around here, maybe into Belgrade. It would be a 3 versus 3. It's not great, but it is something. I can't really do anything here. I'm too weak. I can't do anything over here. I'm too weak. Probably better to go for Belgrade, I guess. And I do want to get that one in as early as possible. So maybe I'll try that, I think. We'll do our attack here. So that would be one op there that I could do. And maybe 2 or 3 ops over here. I could use a 3 ops card, I guess. Entrench. Yeah, that would probably be enough. I think probably a 3 ops card, just to put the pressure on a little bit. Yeah, okay, let's try that. So we're going to play this for ops. Okay, and we're going to do an attack here for one of them. I've got 3 ops to go. I need to do an attack here, unfortunately, even though I don't want to. And I'd rather like to get a move thing going there. Now, you usually move first. So I want to try and put some pressure on here and maybe try and get some early victory points here. So this is what I'm going to try and do. Yeah, the Germans cannot attack Russian forts at the moment, but they can besiege them. So I think I might try that. 1, 2, 3, I think. So as he's moved through these areas, this gets CP control on it, and Lodz gets CP control on it. And as you put CP control on here, you'll see the victory points increase, because victory points increase for every victory place that you get that you didn't have at the beginning of the game. So that's those guys move there. And then I think what I'd like to do is try 1, 2, and 3 here. Now, I'm not in control of this space. I can only claim it as control once the fort has been destroyed. And I can't do that because it's under siege at the moment. But, it's a useful place to be for now. So that will be okay for my movement. And my supply line is pretty straight down to Breslau, so I'm not really worried about that. Okay, so that leaves a couple of attacks. So let's do the Western Front first. We're going to do a 10 attack here. German first and German second are going to attack the BEF. So let's put that up there. German first, German second, attack. And usually put a bracket here to show that it's been reduced. So attack the BEF. And this would be 10 V4. Well, no, actually it's in a trench, so it won't be 10. It will be the next column down. So let's just have a look at that. 9 to 11, it will be 6 to 8. So this will actually be 6 to 8 versus and that's 4, but the trench gives him an extra column, so we'd actually be against 5 there. Okay, well, that's fine. That will do what I want it to do. So 6 to 8 versus 5. There are no combat cards showing, so I'm not going to be doing that. So it should just be a straight run. So let's see. 2 and 4. Okay, so 2 and 4. So on the 6 to 8 column, 2 is 3 losses to the British. So we put 3 losses to the British. And the British have rolled 4 on the 5 column. And 4 losses to the Germans, I think. So let me check that. Yeah, 3. Yeah, 4 losses to the Germans. That's 4 on the 5 column. So 4 losses to the Germans. Okay, so nobody retreats. But these 3 losses are useful because it means that that gets permanently eliminated there and replaced by its core, and it can't be replaced any further. And one of these flips because it was 4 losses to the Germans, but one flip will be 3, and I can't do any more without going above the 4. So we've just flipped that, but that's okay. That's okay. As you can see, this is very weak up here now and is going to require some attention by the Allied powers in order to protect, probably moving Belgium, the Belgian First Army out of Antwerp to assist in the defence of the Channel ports. But we will see. Okay, so that's that one done, and that leaves me with this required Austro-Hungarian attack. That is a 3 versus 3. He's in a fort there, so I will just write down what's going on. Austro-Hungary 5 is attacking Serbian first, and this will be 3 versus 3. Okay, and again, there are no combat cards, so it's just a straight roll. Yeah, terrible attack. Okay, so they're both on the 3 column, and the Austro-Hungarians rolled a 1, which is 1 loss. So we can write that in. 1 loss to the Serbians. And the Serbians rolled 4. And 3 losses to the Austro-Hungarians. So 3 losses to Austro-Hungary. Okay, which is bad. So that flips, and of course I can't do 1 loss on here, so it just stays the same. But I have at least completed my mandatory offensive here, so this can go back to none made. So we have completed that part of the requirements. Okay, so I'm going to finish this log file. Let me just move to replace the space over here. There you go. And I think we're complete with the log files. Let's remove the activations. Yeah. Okay, so I'll save the log and the log file. Okay, and we'll finish it there until the next time.